welcome to Sammy C. Press. Today we're diving back into something more than Shakespeare, a poetry workbook. We're going to be discussing Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Here are some quick facts. He was born in 1807 and he died in 1882. He was born in Portland, Massachusetts. He wrote the poem Paul Revere's Ride. Many of his poems were about children, people, and places. He was considered a fireside poet. These are poets that people read in their homes by the fire, hence the name. Henry's parents had a small library in their home, which was the first brick house in Portland, Massachusetts. Both his parents enjoyed literature and encouraged their children to explore the library at home as well as others. Henry loved children, and he always was kind to them. He began college at the age of 14. Unlike today, back then, this was not uncommon. When he went to college in Brunswick, he began to write poetry seriously. Similar to Robert Stevenson, Henry's father wanted him to be a lawyer. Henry wanted to be a writer, but he had to be able to support himself, so he wrote to his father and said he would be a lawyer to support my real existence. End of quote. Longfellow was offered a position as a professor in a new field of study at college. So he didn't have to become a lawyer after all. He was going to teach modern languages. To make the job even more exciting, Henry was given money to spend 3 years in Europe. No, not a free vacation. He had to learn languages. At 18, he was off on his travels to France, Spain, Italy, and Germany. Henry did not stop there. He was able to read, write, and speak French, Italian, Spanish, and German. He could also read Swedish, Finnish, Danish, Norwegian, Dutch, and Portuguese. Incredible. Henry married, but sadly lost a child, and his wife passed away. He taught and wrote for the next 18 years. He fell in love again in 1843 with Frances Appleton. She said no the first time he proposed, but then she later changed her mind. Henry was not afraid to stand up for what he believed in. He published a little book called Poems on Slavery. It took courage to publish this, and Henry made many enemies doing so. Henry had 5 children, 3 daughters and 2 sons. It took him many years to find his voice as a poet. His poor wife Fanny died in a terrible accident after 20 years of marriage, added to the grief he still carried from the loss of his first wife and unborn child. Henry often worked long into the night writing poetry. For the poem The Ballad of the Schooner Hesperus, Henry was up till 3 a.m. writing. Have you ever heard the saying, "Into each life some rain must fall"? Well, that comes from Henry's poem, The Rainy Day. The rainy day compares the speaker's inward emotional and mental state to the rainy, stormy weather outside. While it is gloomy throughout much of the poem, in the final stanza, the mood lightens somewhat, and the speaker reminds us that the darkness is not going to last forever. I found a really amazing reading of this on YouTube, and I will put it in the link below. Wadsworth has many amazing poems and is a fascinating person. Feel free to dig deeper into this wonderful poet. Until next time.